So welcome to class. Let's start off seated. And in today's class, I want us to kind of embrace this idea of what it suggests in the Yoga Sutras about an asana. An asana should have a balance of effort and surrender. Effort and release, form and formlessness. So in our pose, in our seat, for example, we should make little adjustments so that we can be as upright over the pelvis can be aiming as straight down as possible. We want the chest to be open, we want the head to be balanced up on top. And then, so the effort is to align our body. And then we want to surrender into the shape without losing the effort that we applied to maintain the shape, or to initiate the shape rather. And your breath will give you the insight. So if it feels like the breath can flow evenly, then that all went well. If you're overdoing or underdoing one or the other, then the breath won't be as expansive. And in some styles of yoga, they would say forget about the alignment altogether, just focus on the breath. And if you can breathe evenly, deeply, with ease, fluidly, then the other thing will work itself out. So there's two different ways to go about it. And then we're going to try a breath technique where we draw the breath in through the nose for 4 counts and pause, and then let it out and pause. Breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause. In, pause, out, pause. Last round. In, pause, out, pause. Open your eyes and come onto hands and knees. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow, and then we're going to add the shoulder blade movement. So roll through extension and flexion. Moving with your breath. I like to use the inhalations to go through extension and the exhalations to go through flexion. Hey, Ollie. Now come into neutral spine. Without the spine moving, we're just going to draw the shoulder blades to each other, retract them, and then protract them, spread them away. Retract, draw them in towards each other, and protract, spread away. Hold in neutral. Turn the fingers out to the side or all the way around, depending on your wrist flexibility. And then let's exaggerate that shoulder blade movement as we go through cat-cow. So as you arch your spine, let the shoulder blades draw in, or as you go through extension. And then as you round and go into flexion, really spread through your shoulder blades and reach into your hands. Inhale into extension, retract shoulder blades. And exhale through flexion. Press the shoulder blades away and into the hands. Feel the rib cage draw in and down. Then come into neutral. Turn the fingers back. So the wrist creases are parallel at the front of the mat, and curl your toes, lift your knees up an inch. Now in this position, Don't let your spine sink or round. But most of us have to do a little bit of work to exaggerate to hold the rib cage in its neutral position. So we'll really have to focus on lifting the rib cage away from the ground. And I want you to err on the side of protracting and pressing the floor away from you so that you're not sinking into your shoulders and sinking into your wrists. Push the ground away, lift your ribs, and tuck your pelvis slightly here. Now from this position, see if you can retract your shoulder blades and then protract and retract and protract. One more time. See if it's just the shoulder blades, so now you're not rounding and arching the spine. Then set the knees down and stretch back into child's pose. You might walk the hands forward a little bit so you get full length in the child. Then come up onto your hands and your knees and bring your hips forward towards your wrists. Stretch back into the child's again. And back to the modified up dog. As much as it will allow. Grip the buttocks down, lift through the front of the spine, front of the pelvis. Stretch back again. And come back into the up dog position. Now stretch into downward facing dog. And for this dog, let's take the feet a little bit wider and the stance a little closer, so your feet a little closer to your hands. Now as you push into your hands, let's exaggerate the rib cage again. Draw the rib cage up away from the ground. Push the ground down, reach through your shoulder blades into your hands. And then let the shoulder blades draw down the back, and then push and reach. Keep the ribs in the whole time. Let the shoulder blades draw in and down, and then push and reach, keeping the rib cage in. Now bend the knees, and as you reach your buttocks towards the backs of your knees, keep pushing into the ground. And now take the tops of the thighs back. Still keep the rib cage lifted away from the ground and the reach of the blades. Breathe through your nose. Now all that effort, you can feel that the breath might be sacrificed because you are applying effort in ways that you might not usually. So maintaining the effort, now can you find the ease? So we're positioning the body in a way it's not used to. That causes strain and tendency to fatigue. Now let the ease come, the allowing. Find the formlessness in the form. The lack of effort, the surrendering. Isn't that kind of cool how that changes the whole feeling? Now one hand at a time, walk your hands back to your feet. And with your feet close together, drop the buttocks down low and let the heels lift up as they need to so that you can drop down. And then press heels down, fold forward. Again, drop hips to heels. Lift your heart, lift through the front. And press to your heels and around. 2 more times. Control the movement down. And as you exhale, fold. Last one. Then walk your hands out, starting with the right hand, one handprint at a time. Come into plank position. Push the ground away, draw the rib cage in, but then lengthen from tail to crown. Squeeze your leg muscles. Then retract your shoulder blades, let them draw in and down towards each other. And protract, push. Retract. And protract. Can you keep your rib cage? Don't let the rib cage sink as you retract. And protract. Maintaining that, lift your right leg up an inch. Change, lift left leg up an inch. Both legs down. Lift up and stretch back into downward facing dog. Raise your right leg up behind you as you push through your left big toe mound. As you exhale, bring the knee up to your left armpit. Lift and twist. Inhale, reach back up. Bend the knee and open up the hip like we've been practicing. And then exhale, knee to left armpit. Inhale, reach back and up. Exhale, knee to left armpit. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, step your foot up to your thumb. Inhale, lengthen in your lunge. Exhale, drop your left knee down. Inhale, come up, hook your thumbs, and lift up. Reach the buttock flush down. Draw front ribs down as you lift through your shoulder blades. And then stretch your arms straight out in front of you. With your right arm, slide back and reach into a twist. But keep your buttocks down so that your lumbar doesn't go into extension. Reach your right arm forward again. We're going to come in and out of this 3 more times. Twist to reach back. Right arm forward and twist. Reach back. Last one. Right arm forward. Twist and reach back. Then plant the left hand down onto the ground. Lift your back knee up and hold. Bring your right hand down and step into plank position. Now we're going to retract and protract the shoulder blades again. 5 times. If it feels too hard to do from a plank position, just do it with your knees down. Then from plank position, stretch back into down dog and raise your left leg up. Lift from the inner thigh. As you exhale, bring your knee to your right armpit. Inhale, reach back up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Keep the lower back long, tailbone lengthen. Exhale, knee to right armpit. Inhale, back up. Bend knee, open up hip. Exhale to armpit. Inhale, reach back up. Step your foot through. As you inhale, come up onto your fingertips. And as you exhale, drop your back knee down. Come up, raise the arms, hook the thumbs. And as you scoop up, lift up through your back. You'll notice that your front wants to sink forward. So reach the buttocks down on the back leg and lift up to the side ribs, through your kidney ribs, kidney wings. Lift up to the outer edges of the blades. Take your arms forward and twist. Reach your left arm back. Forward again. 3 more times. Hold in the twisted position as you plant your right hand down. Lift your back knee up. And then bring your left hand down to the mat and step to plank position. Now an advanced variation of this scapula thing would be to do a full push-up. So if you'd like, you can practice lowering all the way down and then pushing back up and spreading the blades at the top. Or you can just do it from the plank position, just practice retracting and protracting. You can do it with knees down like I'm showing, or most advanced, you could do it with legs straight. But you just want to make sure that you keep the core integrity, whichever one you're doing. Now lower all the way down onto your belly. Whatever situation you're doing, reach your arms forward. Point your nose down. Squeeze your legs, firm the buttocks down, get long. And then pull your elbows back, squeeze your back muscles, and lift your wrists and fingers away from the ground. Slide your arms forward again, reach through your fingers. Some might be able to keep the hands off the ground without the belly sinking. And then pull the elbows back. Stretch the arms forward. And as you reach through the fingers, draw the rib cage towards the hips, like we were practicing from the kneeling position. And then pull elbows back and squeeze. So you're trying to stay low here and flat. Then slide the hands next to the chest, and as you inhale, roll into cobra. Now we're rolling through extension. Back bend. Lower your heart down and press back into downward facing dog or child's pose. Starting with your right hand, walk back to your feet, one hand at a time. As you fold forward at the back of your mat, let your head drop. Now roll yourself up to stand. Raise your arms, spread the arms, reach up, and then spread your arms and fold forward. One more time, roll yourself up. Spread your arms, reach up. Spread your arms and roll down. I lied, one more time. Roll yourself back up. So we're going to roll down this time. Spread the arms and reach up. Spread the arms and roll your chin down, roll your chest down, roll your body down. One hand at a time. Start with your left hand. Walk out. Keep the rib cage integrity. Don't make it sloppy. Then shift to plank position. Bring right knee to left armpit. Twist. Inhale, reach straight up this time. Exhale, step your foot all the way up to your thumb. Now bend the back knee, and as you inhale, come up into crescent. Drop the back knee so it's an inch above the ground. Grab your elbows up overhead. Reach your arms up. Plant the left hand down and twist. Take your right arm up. Turn to the outside edges of your feet and reach your right arm over. As you lift your bottom hip, breathe through your nose. Step back into full side plank if you like. If it's too gnarly on your wrist or your shoulder, just drop your left knee down. Come into plank position. Glide back into downward facing dog. Shift to plank pose and bring your left knee to right armpit. Got confused there for a second. Inhale, reach straight back. Exhale, step your foot up to your thumb. And as you inhale, come up into crescent lunge. Bend back knee. Grab the elbows. Change the hands to the more awkward one. And just like we practiced in the first lunge, front rib cage down. Lift to the side ribs, back ribs, kidney ribs as your right buttock drops. Breathe. So it's a lot of effort to get the core connected. Then can you find the ease with the breath? Take the arms up, lean forward, plant the right hand and twist. Turn onto the outside edge of the feet. Lift your bottom hip as you reach your left arm over. Then step into full side plank if you like, or you can drop the right knee if it feels too gnarly. Come back to plank position, and then you can do 5 scap push-ups, so where you just hold plank and do the scaps, or 5 chaturanga push-ups. Knees down, or leg straight. Get the full movement of the shoulder blades. So at the top, you can feel the shoulder blades protract. At the bottom, you feel them retract, as if you could even lift the hands off the mat to really feel the retraction. Now, once you lower all the way down, find your core integrity, rib cage down, buttocks down so you're not arching, and lift your hands up an inch. Reach the arms forward. And then pull elbows back. See if you can keep the legs squeezed, buttocks squeezed, ribs down. Lift the forearms away from the ground. Reach forward. And slide back. One more time. Reach forward. And slide back. This is really great for our posture. We're strengthening the muscles in the backs of the shoulders. Slide the hands next to your chest. Inhale into Cobra Pose. Lower yourself down and press back. Downward facing dog or child's. From down dog, starting with your left hand, walk back one handprint at a time. Keep your core integrity. Now at the feet shoulder distance apart, drop your hips as low as they'll go without the heel bones lifting. And then lift the hips up. Again, drop low. And lift up. Last one. Drop low. And see if you can take your arms forward. And then twist open to your left. Twist open to your right. Drop the hand down, drop the knees down, point the toes back. For those who have issues with the knees, you're going to stand on your knees with a cushion underneath your knees, and you're going to roll your chest open, hands on the hips. Those without knee issues, you'll sit back, walk the hands back, and either come up onto fingertips or hands flat. And then you'll roll the chest open and lift the hips. How high? As high as you like. All right, so roll the buttocks down like we practiced in the lunge. Keep the rib cage connected, and then drive the tailbone down towards the knees and up towards the ceiling. Breathe into your rib cage. So now I've given you instructions to find the alignment. Now can you find the ease and the formlessness, what is beyond the body and the asana? Every pose, every moment is an opportunity to awaken. Lower your butt down. Walk your hands out and stretch back into down dog. Shift to plank pose. Right knee to left armpit. Twisting and pushing. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, step your foot up to your thumb. Inhale, stretch the arms back behind you and hold here. As you drive down through your right heel, feel the back muscles engage, and then reach the arms forward. And just like we practiced on the belly, try to find this line here from your ankle, shoulder, hip, wrist. Then bring fingertips down to the ground. Step your back foot a few inches closer and stretch the right leg towards straight. As you inhale, come up on your fingertips. And as you exhale, fold deeper. You can hold with the hands down. You can bring the hands into reverse prayer or whatever you like. Then bring the hands back down to the mat, step back into downward facing dog or take a vinyasa. Shift to plank and bring your left knee up to your right armpit. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, step your foot up and float your arms back behind you. Try to find the alignment like you're on the floor again, from your face to chest to hip to back ankle. And then see if you can maintain that as you stretch the arms forward. And bring the fingertips down to the ground and step the back foot a little bit closer as you stretch the left leg towards straight. And keep the hands down. Go for reverse prayer. Inhale to lengthen. And as you exhale, fold deeper. Bring the hands back down. Step back into down dog. Shift to plank pose. Roll to up dog. And then we're going to try some up dog shoulder blade movements. So let the shoulder blades draw up towards your ears. And then depress the shoulder blades. Drawing them up. And then depress. One more time. Sink into the blades. Retract, and then depress. So in this position, the shoulder blades are drawing back and down. And then stretch back to downward facing dog. As the arms go overhead, the shoulder blades move with the arms. That's confusing at first. Set the knees down. Stand up on the knees and practice your spinal extension, or walk the hands back and practice. Grip the buttocks down, stretch through the front of the pelvis. Come back to seated or standing on the knees, or with a block in between your hips and your heels. And then we're going to practice some spine waves. So from here, bring your hands to your heart, roll your heart down, and then we're going to make a circular movement with the thoracic spine. Again, if it hurts your knees, you just stand on the knees. Then change direction, circular movement, thoracic spine, which is the middle upper spine. It's okay if you roll your neck around and get the neck to improve, to do some of the movement too. Then stretch back into downward dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. Roll yourself up. And then we're going to go hands behind the head, and we're going to try to do the same thoracic movement. Two times in each direction. And stretch your arms up. Press through your heels, reach through your fingertips, and fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Walk your hands out. 5 scat push-ups or 5 chaturanga push-ups. I'm going to do 2 of the scat push-ups, and then I'll show 3 modified chaturanga push-ups. Now I'm altering it slightly by lowering all the way down instead of elbow height so we can get the full retraction of the shoulder blade. Just be aware of that. Everybody lower all the way down, and as you engage your core, lift your hands up an inch. Feel the full retraction of the blade. Then plant the hands down and inhale into cobra position. Feels good. Stretch back. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, come up. And open up to your side, warrior two. Equal parts pressing down through the heel, big toe mound and little toe mound, and engaging the legs and growing tall, with equal parts surrendering to the breath. Now we all have a tendency to err on one side or the other. So for some people I say that, press down, and you're like, yeah, really press down, I'm not pressing down enough. And the problem is that you probably need to do a little bit less of that. And the people who are like, yeah, just surrender to the breath for sure, they need to do a little bit more of the pressing down. So there's this other concept, reverse warrior, inhale. And exhale, extended side angle, forearm to thigh or hand on the outside of the foot, left arm over. There's this other concept in yoga. In the sutras, they suggest that as a practitioner, we need to practice cultivating the opposite. Pratipaksha bhavana. Cultivating the opposite of our tendency. Because that helps to bring us into balance. Inhale, come back up into warrior two, straighten your right leg and reach into triangle. I'm going to use a block today. Then bring your left hand down and step back, plank position. Take a vinyasa or glide straight back into downward facing dog. You can remove the socks if it's getting too hot with the socks at this point. From downward facing dog, step your left foot for Vira 1. Inhale, come up. And open up to your side, Vira 2. Reverse, flip your palm and inhale. Extended side angle. Inhale, come back up. Straighten your left leg and reach into triangle pose. Now from this triangle, press into your feet and come back up to stand instead of going down. Clasp your hands behind your back and roll your chest open, roll your shoulders open without pushing your lumbar forward. Still keep your buttocks down, your rib cage in. And as you exhale, tip from your pelvis and go as far as you can with a flat back before you start to round. Then press down through the four corners or the 3 points of your feet and come back up. And tip forward. See if you can go a few degrees or a couple inches further. Press through your feet and come back up. 2 more times. Now squeeze your glutes at the top to help to open the front. Reciprocal inhibition there. As the back works, the front has to open more. And then let your hip flexors start to squeeze to pull you deeper into it. The front of the hip stuff will open up the back stuff. Come back up again. Squeeze in the buttocks to open the front. And fold again. See if you can go a little bit further. Maybe you can stretch the arms up over a little further. And squeeze in the fronts of the legs to open up the back. For 3, 2, press through your feet and come back up. Squeeze in the back and the buttocks. And then turn your front leg out and step forward. Stand in Tadasana. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Squat down for Bakasana. Hook your knees, outsides of your arms, lean into your hands and balance. You can practice that, or you can just practice chilling in your squat. Whichever one you do, let's practice holding for 5 breaths. Good, then come out of that and set your elbows down and set your knees down. So we're just going to practice keeping the rib cage in, reaching the shoulder blades, and let's glide forward so the shoulders come over the elbows, and then let's stretch back. Glide forward, shoulders over the elbows, and then stretch back, keeping the rib cage in. Now curl your toes under. Lift your knees, hips, and walk into down dog on your forearms, dolphin pose. Bring the shoulders over the elbows. And then walk back into plank. Back into down dog on your forearms. And back into plank. Last one, back into down dog on your forearms. Here we go. Retract the shoulder blades. And then reach, push them down into the elbows. Hold the rib cage up for 3, 2, 1. Set the knees down. Stretch back into child or right back into down dog. If you have the stamina, you can just go right to dog. If you want to make it more intense, hold the down dog and do swivel stretch. Swivel the feet over to the right and hold. If you're in child's pose, you want to chill it out more, walk your hands over to the right. This is a choose your own adventure yoga class. Change sides. Swivel in the down dog to the other side or in the child's pose. Come back to center, full dog. Step your right foot, warrior 1, inhale, come up. Bring your hands into reverse prayer as you straighten the right leg and fold forward halfway, pause. Keep a flat back, press through the heel, big toe mound and little toe mound. Inhale, come back up. Exhale. tip into the forward fold. Inhale back up. Exhale, tip last time into the forward fold. Now arms straight back. You can hold arms straight back and step into warrior three, or you can go fingertips onto a block. Now whichever one you do, let's try to get the straight line from your back leg to your hip, chest, forehead. Now without your left foot touching the ground, could you come up to stand and bring the left knee up and take the arms up and stretch the left leg straight out in front. Then bend your right knee, wrap your left leg over, left arm under for eagle. Uncross your arms and your legs. And bring your right leg up for Vrikshasana, tree pose. Bring your right heel to the inside of your left thigh. Palms together. Then interlock fingers with right index finger on top and turn the palms inside out, reach up. Bring your arms down, leg down. And take a sun salutation, make your way back to down dog. From down dog, step your left foot up, warrior one. Bring your hands behind your back, straighten your left leg. And as you inhale, open up your chest, shoulders in the front. And as you exhale, tip with a flat back. When you feel your back turning around, pause there. Press down through your feet and come back up. 2 more times. Tip. And back up. Lean into the stretch. Feel the stretch. Hold it. Arms straight back. You can hold the arms back or bring hands, fingertips to blocks or the floor as you step up to balance. So effort to get the line. Can you engage the back leg? Keep the rib cage in, lengthen through the spine, level the pelvis, and reach down through your left foot. Now, can you maintain that effort, but find a sense of ease? If you're an all ease person, you'll let go of the effort. If you're an all effort person, you'll forget about the ease and you'll be gritting your teeth and shaking. And come up to stand now. Bring the right knee up. And stretch the right leg straight out in front of you. Bend the left knee and wrap the right leg over, right arm under. Uncross and bring your left heel up for tree pose, Vrikshasana. Bring your arms back down. Lay back down. Inhale your arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Make your way back to down dog through a vinyasa or not at your call. Then make your way to seated for some abdominals. Come into Navasana. Okay, quick Navasana breakdown. Level 1 is just working on keeping the spine upright and the heels down. Level 2, you'd see if you could then lift the feet up, still keeping the lift through your spine without sinking back. If you're somewhere caught in between there, you can work with the heels up on a chair or blocks. Then you can work on holding one leg up, and eventually holding both legs up, keeping the lift through the spine as you reach down through the tailbone and sit bones evenly. That's your tripod that you're balancing on. Now let's come into hollow body position. Level 1. Heels are down. The lower back is flat in this position. It's different from doing the dead bug exercise. And as you exhale all the air out, feel the rib cage drawn down. Reach through your fingers forward, but keep the back of the neck long, almost like you're trying to do a double chin. If that's real easy, you'll lift one leg. Practice alternating. If that's still easy, you'll lift both. And the most advanced, you'd stretch the legs forward. And the super advanced, you'd then take the arms back, but now without the ribs lifting. I can feel my ribs want to jump up with my arms. Hug your knees. Come back up. Optional, reverse plank. Lift up the hips, or kneeling position, reverse plank. 5 breaths, whichever one you're going to do. Navasana. Now everybody knows how to modify. If I have to answer this question again, I'm going to freaking lose it. No. And then we're going to come into the hollow body position, whichever phase you're working on. Front ribs draw in and down. Buttocks reaches towards the backs of the knees. Come back up. reverse plank or the kneeling reverse plank variation. Last one, if it goes well. See how we go here. Navasana. Hollow body position. Grip the buttocks to the backs of the knees. Exhale the rib cage all the way down. And come back up. Reverse plank or the kneeling position. Nicely done. All right, let's take just a little time to go upside down. So we worked on setting up for pincha. You could practice pincha, down dog on your forearms again, handstand, headstand, or forearm balance, whichever one you want to work on. And you could also chill in a Prasarita. I like to do the lunging Prasarita before I hold. But you can do whatever you like. And then make your way back into downward dog, whichever one you're doing. Come to seated position and bring your left ankle to cross on the outside of your right knee, like so. Or if that's just way too gnarly of a stretch, just sit cross-legged. And then we're going to circle the upper body 3 times. Leaning into the forward stretch position. And then change the direction of the circle. It should feel like a deep stretch as you lean into the forward stretch position. So you can adjust so that you get that. And then lean into the angle that you need to feel a stretch. Whether that's whatever angle you need. Now, wherever you are in the stretch, take a deep breath in and a slower, longer breath out. Come back up. Change the cross. We're going in a circle motion 3 times each direction. And then hold at the angle you need to be to get the stretch. I got this idea for the circling around and moving around in the seated positions from observing the Kecak dance, which is a traditional dance done in Indonesia, the fire dance that tells the story of the formation of the islands. And what else does it talk about? It tells this whole story. But in the yoga tradition, Patanjali also talks about ritualistic dance as being a form of movement that is also a path to enlightenment, just like yoga. So I started to find it interesting, these different ritualistic dances or movements done. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out even slower. Come back up and lie down onto your back. Lift yourself up into bridge pose. And as you engage the buttocks, feel the front of the pelvis open, shoulders open. Lower yourself back down and go back up. You could go into bridge again, or you go for full Urdhva Dhanurasana if you like. Upward facing bow. Whichever one you're doing, let's hold for 5 breaths. Then lower yourself down. Open your arms to the side and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Let your legs fall over to the left. Change sides. Come back to center. Hug your knees to your armpits or take happy baby. And then stretch your legs out for Shavasana. One of the crazy thing is that when you go to relax, when you start to scan the body, you'll notice how much tension that's held in the body, even when you first just let yourself lie down. So a good way to practice Shavasana each time is to consciously scan the body and give yourself permission to relax those areas. So we'll start from the head. Let go of the tension or in the scalp and in the muscles of the face. Any gripping in the skull, let it go. Allow the lips to stay together and the tip of the tongue to rest against the roof of the mouth just behind the teeth, like you're making a t sound. But then let go of any tension in the jaw and in the tongue. Around the eyes and the temples, let go, and the throat. And just notice how much more tension you're able to release. Now let's go further down the body, in the shoulders and in the neck, let go. In the upper back muscles, let go. Let go of the tension in your arms and in your hands. Let go of any tension in the rib cage and in the abdomen. And let the glutes relax, the hips, the groins. Let the groins be passive. Any tension around the pubic plate, give it up. And let go of the thighs, the thigh bones, let them drop. Any tension in your knees and in your shins, let it go. Any gripping in the ankles and the muscles of the feet, surrender completely. And just notice how much more relaxed the body is. Now gently bend your knees and roll over to your side. Press yourself up. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. So I'll just be honest with you. Today I was feeling pretty beat. Woke up and didn't really feel like going on practicing yoga. I felt super sore and stiff, and it was the day where I was like really dreading practicing yoga. And now I feel really good, and I'm really happy that I did. So a lot of our practice is just the discipline of getting on the mat. Now, of course, we honor our rest days. Today wasn't a rest day for me, but we honor time to rest when the body really needs rest. But a lot of the yoga practice is discipline. It's just showing up even when you don't feel like it and experiencing the benefit that comes from being able to do that. So it's something to consider.